3 weeks ago, I thought, okay, it's time to focus on my neck because I sustained a concussion and a whiplash 8 years ago, and I never fully focused on the neck. But the last 3 years, it felt like I have this tension in my neck. I felt more anxiety because of it. At least that's the feeling that I had. I just felt like there is a little bit of neck pain. It's just this intuition that tells me, okay, go to someone and focus on the neck. And then in the last couple of months already, many people, they sent me messages or an email, and they told me you should focus on your neck. It helped me so much. So it already crossed my path a few times, and then I received another email from someone and another message within the community, and she told me I'm focusing on the Watson headache approach, and this is an approach that focuses on the neck, on the first three, like the C1, the C2, and the C3, and the C0, the first four or the first three. And I feel like, okay, that's exactly the place in my neck that needs more attention. So I googled a bit and I found the International Headache Institute. This is in the Netherlands, but there are more around the world. So if you're looking or just googling for Watson headache approach, you'll find more practitioners who are applying this specific technique. So it's a very gentle technique with a bit of pressure, so they don't correct anything. It's just pressure on your neck. It doesn't hurt that much. It's not dangerous or something, because before I tried some things like chiropractor, or it's way too intense for me. I don't like it. It makes things worse, and you need to be very careful if you go to someone who cracks your neck. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one. I approach this one is more a gentle one, and that's the one that I support and also recommend to other people who sustain a concussion, because your neck can be so sensitive. And also 80% of the people who sustain a concussion, their neck is affected. So even if you don't have neck pain, but if you, for example, have dizziness, balance issues, vision issues, then there might be a big chance that it's coming from your neck. So I went there 3 weeks ago. She told me that we need to do a lot of appointments in the first 2 weeks. So I had 5 appointments in 2 weeks, and it's for me it's quite far because I live in Antwerp at this moment. So this is in Belgium, and I had to drive to The Hague in the Netherlands. So it's like almost 2 hour drive. So I went there 5 times a week. I know 2 times, 5 times in 2 weeks. And I went there, and the first session was like the intake, and she already did some adjustments. And I immediately felt a relief in my neck. So normally I feel this tiredness in my neck, and after the session I didn't feel it. I felt more clear in my head. So it's also helping a lot with fatigue. And I also felt very tired after the session. So not immediately after the session, I still drove home and everything, but in the evening and the next day, next few days, I felt very tired. So I thought, okay, something is happening here. And I wasn't sure if this was normal. Of course, I Googled a bit, but I just asked her if it was normal, and it was normal. She told me, okay, your system might be in a bit of an overdrive in the last few years. So from the moment it starts to relax, you can feel, okay, you're tired because already for such a long time you needed to keep up with it. To If you're always in this fight flight mode, then when it's taken away, then you feel that you're maybe very tired. And in my first few years I was constantly in this fight flight mode, so it isn't that bad as it was before, but I still feel sometimes that I have a bit of anxiety, some restlessness. So I went there, and the first session was great. I felt tired. Then 3 days after the first session, I went for the second session, and this was already way better. I felt less tired. Then I had a third session, a fourth one, and a fifth one. After the fifth one, this was my last session, I felt like my head opened up a bit. I felt less fatigue. I still felt a bit tired, but it's like not like the tired that you sometimes have, that you think, oh, I can't do anything. It was more like, oh, I've been busy all day. I feel a bit tired, that kind of tired. So I also had to do some exercises at home. I still didn't finish the treatment, so I'm in the middle of it. My next session will be next week. So now there are 2 weeks in between. So I'm very curious what she will do in the next session. But she told me that it's 100% my neck because, my C2 is more to the left, which means that your neck is not aligned. So that's basically the goal of the treatment, is to align your neck in a gentle way. If your neck is not aligned, many symptoms can come up. Many symptoms also, like anxiety, panic attacks, dizziness, balance issues, also cognitive issues. So all those symptoms can come from the neck. So I just feel like this is another piece of the puzzle that I needed to recover. And I just want to share this with you because I heard from many people that it made such a difference. And yeah, it's just so helpful. And I know that many people aren't aware that their neck is affected. And yeah, it's just such an important part of recovery. And I wish that I did this some earlier in my recovery than I do this right now after 8 years. But that's why I'm recording this podcast episode, because I hope that everyone who is listening, that they don't skip their neck, that you might want to give it a try. And yeah, so I can advise you to go for the Watson headache approach. I know there are many people in Australia and I think also in New Zealand who are applying this approach. It's coming from Australia. So yeah, in the Netherlands, for everyone who is Dutch, I can advise to go to the the International Headache Institute, and it's run by Polly Anna, and she is great. She did she did many courses, she has so much education about this topic, and she also did the course with Dean Watson. He's the one who invented this approach. So she's been to Australia. She is probably one of the best who can apply this well for people in the Netherlands. So if you are thinking about going there, please let me know. I would love to hear your experience, and if you have any questions for me about this topic or about anything else, just let me know. Thank you for listening to my podcast. I really hope this was helpful for you. If it was, and if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube, would you maybe do one small thing in return? Leave a short review or thumbs up on YouTube. The more reviews this podcast will get, the easier it is for other people to find this podcast and to feel less alone and lost in their journey. Oh, and one last thing. I would love it if you share a helpful episode on Instagram in a post or in a story and tag the Concussion community in it. Or you can always send me a direct message. I love to see who is listening. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time.